Okay, gang, it's the average guy coming at you here with our review of the new Uclear Motion 6 headsets that Big Guy and I recently installed in our helmets and took on like a 4-day ride. For those of you that are interested, that is a brand new Shoei Neotech 2 helmet that it's been installed in. That's actually one of the things I'm going to touch on, is that the ear holes that are molded into the helmet are not the right size for the headsets for this particular device. However, I was able to make them work. They come with some adapter pieces and whatnot, and if you're willing to have them mounted in there not quite straight, they do actually adequately fit in the hole and didn't cause me any discomfort, and I was able to hear everything just fine during the ride. However, getting started, I just want to say that I think my initial impression of the initial quality of these devices is very, very negative. I've received a set. They came non-functional. I called Uclear to discuss that. They were going to just ship me a replacement set, but they couldn't get them to me as fast as Amazon could, and I needed them quickly for the trip. So I went back through Amazon and did a return. The second set came, everything seemed functional. However, about 30 minutes into our ride, I found out that there's a rattle in the left speaker of the replacement set. So I'm 0 for 2 on having functional units, which is very disappointing. That said, it only vibrates on certain frequencies. It's like a sympathetic sound vibration. So when certain frequencies come through, I get a rattle in only that speaker. Everything else, the sound quality reproduction is fantastic. It's way far above and beyond the HBC 200s. I really love it. It's got better bass, it's got better high end. It just sounds far more realistic than the HBC 200s. However, Big Guy and I mounted our microphones in 2 different locations. Mine are actually popping out in front of the chin bar, and they're exposed to the air, and his are mounted up around the eyebrows near the shell of his helmet. On the highway, at highway speed, his speakers are picking up a ton of noise. Even if you put the noise canceling way up, I had mine at 85%, at 65 miles an hour on the highway, I can hear every wind gust, every move of his helmet, everything, and they just never go silent. It's kind of frustrating. In addition, when he spoke, it had a hard time communicating back what he was saying. I was constantly asking him to repeat himself. It was coming through garbled, but mainly because it was muffled. Big Guy did not have that issue hearing what I was saying, and so we attributed that to the microphone location. He wasn't getting a bunch of road noise off of mine, and my sound reproduction seemed to be pretty good. So I would say the mounting of the microphones is going to be key, and if we can get that sorted out, we'll probably do a follow-up video to kind of let you know how that went. The noise cancellation feature in the app itself is actually pretty cool, but the pairing is a little bizarre. They pair super fast to your mobile device, but when you pair them to the phone, they go in as one name, and when you pair them to the app, they go in as a name, and it says BLE next to it. You can then change the name, basically put an identifier on each unit so that you know which one you're working with. But in your list of Bluetooth devices, each one pairs twice. So to pair 2 of them to your phone, you're going to get 4 names in your Bluetooth list. However, when you're in the app and you're making changes, they do change on the fly. It doesn't require any kind of reset, restart, anything like that. You just make the configuration change and save it, and it updates your device, and boom, you're ready to rock and roll. The noise cancellation feature was great at like 45 miles an hour on back roads, at 65 to 85%. When Big Guy talked, the microphone would kick on, my speakers would kick on, and I would hear him. And when he finished, they would shut off. It really worked well. The battery life was also fantastic. We used these things for 10, 12 hours easily a day, and they never went dead. They recharge quickly. The plugs are great. They're definitely very waterproof feeling. I mean, I think everything was pretty cool. The gesture control that it comes with honestly seems more like a gimmick. It was really more trouble than it was worth, and it got shut off really quickly. When you wave your hands, it does work, but if something flies by your device, it can change your volume up or down. If you turn your head and it catches a shoulder pad on your riding jacket, that'll change things. It just was really kind of a nuisance, and it's very easy to shut off, and so that's what happened. It got shut off. They do pair very easily as well, and I will say that every command that comes through on them is repeated to your ear with a voice. So things like volume up, volume down, powering on, powering off. You don't have to memorize a tone sequence, which is really nice because it just tells you in English what it's doing. When you pair them, it tells you that they're paired. But one thing that Big Guy and I noticed is that the HBC 200s, once they were paired, if you turned them off, slept, turned them back on, you just had to like hit the up button on one for a few seconds and it would repair to the other one. It seems like we have to reinitialize these with button pushes on each one each time we turn them off and then back on. We'll research that a little further and see if that's the case, but nonetheless, it's very simple, it's very intuitive, and it's, you know, repeated to you again by voice. So I don't think it's really that big of a deal. So one last note, the volume is very slow to respond, and for whatever reason, the volume up button and the volume down button are hard to find when you're reaching for them and just feeling blind. You'd think looking at them and feeling them that it would be simple, but for whatever reason it's not. And then when you do find it, if you wanted to say increase your volume 3 increments and you went press, 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 it doesn't do anything. You have to press it and wait for it to say volume up, then press it again, volume up, press it again, and it'll go up an increment at a time. If you press the volume up or down too fast, it just doesn't respond. It seems to think that you're trying to do like multiple button pushes, and it searches for a different command. So that's the initial review on these things. We had them out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We took them on a good long stretch. You know, we paired them. We've listened to music on them. The music was great. We talked to each other on them. That was great. The pairing was great. But the initial quality so far on my set has really not been impressive. Big Guy's set seemed to come fully functional. He didn't have any issues with them. So really 2 out of 3 came broken. Customer service was very responsive, as they always are with Uclear, but I just wanted to make sure that that was communicated so that you understand exactly what happened with us with the purchase and installation. So I'm going to get off this review. It's gotten longer than I wanted it to go. Please feel free to leave your comments or questions below. We answer them all. Thanks as always for watching and listening, and we'll see you on the next one.